guys, this is Jayma Malmy from jaymamalmy.com, and today I wanted to show you how to make a different kind of A2 size card. So I've got just the base of the card. Normally people just fold it in half like this and that's your card, but you can see here I scored it. This is at 2.5 inches and 4.5 inches. And actually, this full length, instead of 8.5, it's 8.25 inches long, and then scored at 2.5 and 4.5. So what I'm going to do is fold on those score lines and use my handy bone folder to give them a nice score. So got nice scored lines, and don't do what I just did and score like this on top of here, because now there's a little like line there. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm not going to worry about it, but now you can learn from my mistake. So now you've got your card base. This is what it looks like. Now this is the standard size card at 5.5 inches tall by 4.25 inches wide. And what I want to do first is I wanted to play with this new stamp set from Close to My Heart. It's called Out of This World, and I just love these fun images. It's perfect for little boy cards or invitations, party favors, stuff like that. And if you look closely, you can see a line around some of these images. I apologize for the lighting, it's not that great, but what that means, and you'll see down here it says Artiste. This stamp set coordinates with the Artiste Cricut cartridge from Close to My Heart. That's the brand new cartridge that just came out with this new catalog. And this rocket ship and this spaceship coordinate, the robot coordinates, the planet, this banner that says Out of This World, and this star all coordinate with the Cricut cartridge. And you'll see here also it tells you page 68 and 3.25 inches. So that tells me that I want to turn to page 68 of the Artiste Handbook, and so you'll see all of these images and all of the themed images. See, these are all like spacey images. They're all on the same button, which makes it really convenient. So you've got, see these rocket ships, the robot, the planet, the star, so they're all on here. This tells me to cut it at 3.25 inches. So I use the accent one and the image on there. So on here you'll see that it's set up like a computer keypad. There's lots of the alphabet is on here, so it's easy to find things. And then toward the bottom here, since the letters don't take up every single key, there's some other things like birthday boy, birthday girl, stuff like that that are still easy to find instead of a shape. And so that's the key we're looking for, is birthday boy, and it's shown in red right there on the keypad, so you kind of have an idea of where to look on the keypad. So it's right there. So what we're going to do is accent one, birthday boy, and that's what we're going to use to cut out the image. I've already cut out the image. This is what it looks like. And then just so you can see, this is what the robot looks like too. So really nice cut and really nice detailed image stamp. So you can make it whatever color you want by just cutting it out in white, which is really nice. And then I've already stamped on here the Out of This World. But this also, whoops, that was the wrong side. This is the right side. I stamped it bad the first time. So it's really easy to stamp right on the image. So I'm going to show you, I've got the Close to My Heart black ink here, and I'm just going to ink up my rocket ship. If this were the first time I was using this stamp, what I'd want to do is season it first to get like the manufacturing gunk off of there. I think I've shared that before in a video, but in case you're new to my video, you just would kind of want to rub it around on your stamp pad, or before you get any ink on it, you can rub it on your hand like this to get some of the oils from your hand onto the stamp. And once you kind of rub it around, get all the manufacturing gunk off, you're going to want to do a stamp onto your scratch paper a couple of times. So I have a sponge pad. This is what comes with the stamp set. It's a little piece of, not sponge, foam. And I have that underneath my work surface because I'm going to stamp right. I want that underneath what I'm going to stamp on because it gives a little cush and it helps you get a better stamped image. So I'm going to ink this up really well, and as with all close to my heart stamps, this is clear so it's easy to see exactly where you're stamping. Line it up, and there you have it. A perfect stamped image. Love it. So that is Cricut and stamps playing together very well. So much fun. And then also I just want to show you, this is how you clean, the easiest way to clean your stamps. This is Close to My Heart's new stamp scrubber. Nice little lid. It's the size, it's even smaller than a stamp pad. So just take the lid off. You're going to give it a little spritz with your spritz cleaner. This is available from Close to My Heart. It's only $4.25. And it has a nice smell to it. I just want to add that because I've gotten stamp cleaners before at the stamp, the craft store, and they reek of alcohol. This actually has a nice, pleasant smell to it. So you don't have to worry about that. And I am going to just clean this right off. Now the black stained my stamp just a little bit, but that's okay. It's still clean. You can still see through it. It just has a tinge of black to it, and that's going to happen with your black inks, and red and pink inks tend to do that too, but don't worry, it's just, you can still see through it. It's not dirty, it's just stained. So I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to come to my actual card, and I'm going to show you how to use your themed stamps from the set to kind of random stamp and create a design on your card, so you can create a card without any pattern paper. Now I was inspired by this paper pack from My Mind's Eyes, one of those little 6x6 paper pads, the Lime Twist, and I liked these papers from it. I really liked the colors, so I used that as my inspiration, and I pulled these Close to My Heart colors, which actually work really well with this. If I did want to use patterned paper, I could match these to it perfectly, but I'm not using patterned paper in this card. I wanted to make a card without patterned paper. So I've got Sunset, Cranberry, Lagoon, and Pear, and what I'm going to do is lay them out right in front of me. Whoops, this happens sometimes. See, the stamp pad came off of the hinge when I opened it. Every now and then that'll happen. You can just pop it back into place like that. Okay, so I'm going to set my stamp pads out in front of me, which is what I always do if I'm working with several colors. I like to see everything in front of me, and I put the labels, see it's got the label here in front, I put that toward me so I can really see the color, because sometimes you can't tell by looking from the top on the ink pad themselves. And I'm going to lay out my card base right in front of me. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with the biggest stamp first, and I'm going to just kind of randomly stamp these images around the edges of this card. Now I've still got the foam underneath me, and I'm making sure that I'm on it when I stamp, and I'm just kind of placing them evenly and staggering them so that this isn't directly under that, this isn't directly above, so they're kind of staggered a little bit. I'm going to move on to my next biggest image, which is this star, and I'm going to stamp it in pear ink. And it's okay if you overlap a little. Same idea, just gonna stamp it wherever I feel like. Okay, I'm going to move on to the saying. It says, "Greetings, Earthling." I thought that was fun, so I'm going to stamp that in the Lagoon ink. Okay. Now I have this little itty bitty star, and that actually came from this stamp set over here. This is the It's Your Day stamp set, and it's the special from Close to My Heart. Right now only available August 15th through September 30th, 2012. And this is a double stamp set. There's 2 stamp sets here in one package. And right now during National Stamping Month, September 2012, you can get this double stamp set for $5 with any $35 purchase of regular price items on my website. So here's a closer look. There's some fun chevrons and stripes, and love this bike. You can see I've used that already. Here's another side. This is great for if you're doing Project Life or Project 365, Weekend of Life, any of those scrapbooking projects. This is perfect for that, or just really any scrapbooking. You've got the dates here, or the days of the week here, and so just some really fun sayings. And so anyways, that's where I got this star from. So I'm going to use the cranberry for this star, and the reason I leave the smallest image for last is because I just use it to fill in wherever there's some gaps, wherever I feel like it needs some color. Okay, that looks good to me. So, you know, I think it needs a little more blue. I'm feeling more blue, so I'm going to clean off that stamp. And I'm going to stamp the star in the Lagoon again too, to add a little bit more blue to this. The Greetings Earthling is in blue, but since it's some text, it doesn't add a whole lot of color to this. There, I think that helped brighten it up a little. Okay, so now I've got the base of my card done. And what I'm going to do is I've already got this base done, and I've already got a rocket ship over here that has been colored. I just colored this with watercolor pencils. I'm not a big color in person. I'm not great with Copics or markers or, you know, figuring out the colors I'm going to use, but I just, you know, pulled the colors that I used here, colored in the rocket ship, and, you know, it's nothing special. But, you know, I'm giving this to a little boy, and I don't think that he's going to care. This is the 3D foam tape from Close to My Heart. I really love their foam tape because it's a really good height. You know how some foam tape that you get is just like really tall? I just really like this foam tape. It's a really good depth, height, depth, however you want to call it. This is the side that's not colored in that I've just stamped on. Alright, so I'm just going to place that on there like that. Just gives it a little background to help ground it on my card. And then I stamped this little banner that I showed you earlier, and let's see, I want to have it kind of come out of here like that, but I don't want it sticking out the other side, so I'm just going to chop it off, not chop off my finger, there. Okay, and I'm just going to use my adhesive regular adhesive for that. And it looks like a little flag coming off of the rocket ship. There you go. So on here, you want to make sure, so I'm going to be placing it like this, so you want to make sure that the adhesive is only on half of this, because you don't want the adhesive on this side, because then it's going to stick to the side of the card and it's not going to open. So I actually had torn this off something else, so what I want to do is just cover this side up really quick so that it's not sticky anymore. So I'm just using some scrap paper for that. It's not going to look super neat and tidy on the back, but that's okay. So I'm only covering about half. And then when I place it onto here, I want to make sure it's centered on both sides and top to bottom. So just make sure that you're centering it. Looks pretty good. Oops. Okay. There you have it. Your A2 regular size card. It'll fit in a regular A2 envelope, but it's got a fun little fold to it. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you learned a lot. Let me know if you have any questions, and please visit my blog at jamamalmi.com for more inspiration. If you want to purchase any of the products that I use, you can visit my Close to My Heart website at jamamalmi.ctmh.com. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.